Hey guys, today is kind of the Good Friday video. I'm gonna keep it short this week, today, and just to kind of get you thinking about what was going on right before the crucifixion. Today we're gonna look at Matthew 27:15 through 25. We're gonna be looking at just the choices that were made and the way people were influenced as Pilate gave the people a choice between Christ and Barabbas. So let's go ahead and read it. It says, Now at the feast, the governor was accustomed to releasing to the multitude one prisoner whom they wished. And at that time they had a notorious prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they had gathered together, Pilate said to them, Whom do you want me to release to you? Barabbas or Jesus, who is called Christ? For he knew that they had handed him over because of envy. While he was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife sent to him, saying, Have nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things today in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitudes that they should ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. The governor answered and said to them, Which of the two do you want me to release to you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said to them, What shall I do with Jesus who is called Christ? They all said to him, Let him be crucified. Then the governor said, Why? What evil has he done? But they cried out all the more, saying, Let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could not prevail at all, but rather that a tumult was rising, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. You see to it. And all the people answered and said, His blood will be on us and our children. So this is a pretty heavy passage this week, today that we're looking at. We see that, Barabbas was a criminal. He was known as a criminal. It wasn't like something they were still trying to prove. He was convicted. And he was actually taken in for, funny enough, rising against the government, which is what all of the Pharisees accused Jesus of, and also for murder. He was a known murderer. Imagine like the worst criminal you could meet, some guy that's already on like death row, and they bring him out and put him next to Jesus. And these Pharisees convince these people, and the people go with it, right? To say, we want to crucify Christ. So let's look through this. So 15 through, again, we just talked about Barabbas, who's mentioned in 16. So we see 17 says, Therefore, when they had gathered together, Pilate said to them, Whom do you want to release to you, Barabbas or Jesus who is called Christ? For he knew that they had handed him over because of envy. So we see right away that Pilate already knows that they aren't really crucifying Christ for anything like they've seen or they have proof of. He sees that it's out of envy. These are these jealous people, and he's like, "Are you guys sure you want to do this? Is this really kind of what you're driving at?" And then even to push things, his wife said, "Well, he was sitting in 19." Well, he was sitting on the judgment seat. His wife sent to him, saying, Have nothing to do with that just man. So we know it's capital M, that's Jesus. For I have suffered many things today in a dream because of him. So Pilate knows this guy hasn't really done anything. He hasn't done anything that would warrant crucifixion, warrant that kind of punishment. And then his wife sends to him saying, Don't have anything to do with him. I've been having, terrible dreams because of him. So I got a bad feeling about this. And so then we see how the priest reacts. So the priests probably see this. The Pharisees probably see this. And thinking, oh man, he's not too happy. Because in 20 it says, But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitudes that they should ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. So we see here, then the Pharisees just get the crowd all riled up. Right? They get them moving. They get them all excited. I mean, it kind of reminds us almost of the triumphal entry, when all these people were getting excited because of Christ coming in, all their friends doing it. And then look at the dialogue at 21 to 23. Pilate said to them, What should I do with Jesus? And they said, Crucify him. And Pilate said, Why? What has he done? But they just kept calling out crucifying him. They had no proof. They had nothing on Christ. But so they're past the Barabbas thing. Apparently that was the easy choice. Now they're going ahead and making the choice of what to do with Christ next. It was their idea, we see here. Right? And then 24, Pilate washes his hands and says, I won't have anything to do with this. He's yours. which kind of reminds us almost of in Romans when it says, God will give you over to your sin. If you want to sin bad enough, God will give you over to that. And so we see that here where these people want this evil to happen. They want this murder to happen. They want this crucifixion, to where Pilate has to say, fine, I'm not taking this on. So just 2 points today I want us to think on this Good Friday. Firstly, we make millions of decisions every day, and we have to ask, what influences them? Think of people. Think of trends. What's trendy around you? What looks good to you? Think of emotions. How do certain things make me feel? Would I feel worse if I made this decision? Think relationships. How will this affect my friends? How will this affect my family? So we have to ask ourselves, how do we consult Christ better? Obviously, they didn't really stop for prayer in the middle of this. They just kept going and kept going and kept going. And a lot of times, it's going to be easy in life for us to look at a situation and just want to keep moving forward because it seems so good, it seems so great. But we have to remind ourselves to stop every once in a while, breathe, and make the decision thinking of how Christ could be guiding us. Number 2, we're Barabbas. I heard a sermon on this quite a while ago, but I love it because, we go free for what Jesus was charged for. We go free even though we've already been charged as guilty. Christ takes that from us. He takes away the necessity for that of our own crucifixion, and he took it on himself. So it's easy to read about Barabbas and think, how could he get away? But then you have to look at yourself and remind yourself, you got away. We got out of this. Christ loved us enough to die for us, to take that place, when really that's what we deserved. And that's a truth I want you to remember as we go into Easter. I'm praying it for you guys. I'm excited for this Easter video that we're putting together, and yeah, I just hope it is glorifying to God and that we can enjoy it together someday soon.